Guilty or not guilty? Binging all of James Marsden's movies after the show.
Guilty.
Which was your favorite? Which was your least favorite?
So I recently discovered D-Train with Jack Black.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, that is it. Not only is it funny, James kills it. So does Jack Black, obviously too. But yeah, that one was probably my favorite that I discovered of his that I hadn't seen.
Hey friends, it's your girl Emily Curl. We are here at iHeartRadio headquarters in New York City, and today we are hanging out with the man of the hour. We have the star of Jury Duty here with us today. Ronald Gladden is here. Can we give it up for Ronald in our studio?
Thank you.
I can't even imagine what's going through your mind right now, everything that's happened in your life recently. I mean, let's start with that. So this is your first time in New York, so you're doing a ton of press, right?
First time in New York, and
Okay.
yep, I'm here doing press, events, promos, all the above.
So where is home for you originally?
So I'm actually from a very small mountain town called Wallowa in Oregon.
In Oregon. Okay. And so I'm sure your whole family, everyone is following along the show. Before we even dive into that, tell the audience, if they haven't seen it yet, what exactly Jury Duty is and your role in the show.
So the premise of the show, to me, how it was pitched, was that I was going to be a part of a documentary. We were going to take a look at the judicial process. We were going to see what happened in the deliberation room. I was told this was never before done, behind the scenes look at what actually goes on there. And so obviously that wasn't really what was going on. I was surrounded by actors I didn't know the entire time, and I essentially got Truman Showed.
That's all I could think about the whole time.
Yeah.
You watch the show back, it's hysterical. The characters, I mean, seeing you react to different things. I'm so curious, watching to the final episode, right? We see that it gets revealed. I had so many emotions going through my head for you. Take me back to that moment. What was it like when you're there and they tell you actually we're actors? Like, what emotions were you processing at the time?
So truthfully, on the day of the reveal, they threw too much at me to process literally anything. And the number one thing I was thinking was just utter disbelief. Like, I did not believe him. Like, they were telling me that it was fake, but I thought that was the lie.
It's so wild because I feel like your life has fully changed overnight.
Yeah, and yeah, that's exactly what's happened.
Describe to me now, like what's does your life look like right now after the show?
My life is chaotic. I have way too much to keep up with. I'm surrounding myself with the right people to help me manage it, but it's literally too much for me to handle by myself.
Oh my God. So, okay, so you're on the show. You watched the whole thing. Did you watch the show back?
I did, yes. And I will say the first time I watched it, like it was almost like a little bit of an embarrassment because like I've never been on camera before. I don't know. It was just weird seeing myself on TV.
Yeah, I was curious if you had those emotions because again, when you find out that like everyone around you is not telling the truth, like did you have trust issues after that? Were you like...
I would be lying if I said I didn't. And it took me a while to process it, like months and months down the road. Like things would just randomly hit me. I'd be doing something like laundry or washing the dishes or something, and I would just be like, oh, wow, was that fake? Oh, that must have been staged too. Oh, was that an actor? Like it would come in waves.
One of my favorite parts of the show too is seeing your relationship with James. What was it like on set with him? And then what is y'all's relationship like now?
On set, truthfully, it was like a roller coaster of emotions, if you will, because like it's James Marsden. I was so excited to meet him, but then obviously he was playing this really heightened version, Hollywood version of himself, which I did not like at all. There were definitely times when I would actually walk away from him because he was just too much for me to handle. And towards the end, like when I truly believed that that's who he was, it broke my heart. Like I was like, oh, this guy sucks, you know? So to find out that that's not who he really was just like, just such a relief to me. And like now, like we were obviously friends. I love hanging out with the guy and he's just a fantastic time. He's a wonderful human being. Nothing like he portrayed himself to be.
Yeah. And are you still friends with the cast?
Absolutely. I stay in contact with everybody. And it's not just the cast. I mean, we're talking executive producers, camera people, directors, all of them.
Is it wild to think how many people were invested in your life watching your reactions? Like,
yeah, it's the weird feeling too, because I'm getting people reaching out to me from all over the world, parts of the world that this isn't even being shown in. So it's a trip, absolutely.
Was there anyone super famous, any celebs that slid into your DMs that you were freaking out over?
Yeah, so this actually just happened the other day. It was Maxine, the fluffy corgi here in New York, and I finally got to meet her. And I've been that's been on my bucket list, honestly. Like,
Because you love corgis, you have a corgi.
I love corgi. I have my own little corgi puppy. Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, because I feel like a lot of celebs are watching the show, which is really fun. It's interesting. So after you get out, I'm sure there's a break in between filming. Did you know like when the show was going to come out? How did you prepare? You go back home to your hometown. How do you prepare for the show to come out?
So I didn't know when the release date was. I wasn't really given any of that information. I was just told it could be a while because I was told, this is kind of how things work. It just takes a while to edit it, whatever it is that they have to do. Like, obviously I'm new to this world. But no, I had no idea when it was going to be released. And basically I just had to just keep my mouth shut.
Yeah. And then you watch it back and seeing it on there. Is there anything you wish you would have done differently? Like, is looking back on there, like watching it back?
Not necessarily differently. I mean, I definitely was restraining myself, and I was trying really hard not to laugh, because you got to understand, like, if I would have laughed at the time, it would have felt like I was laughing at them,
right,
and I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to make them feel bad. So I really had to like restrain myself, but I wish that I could have like let free and just actually enjoyed it, all the hilariousness for what it was.
Yeah. Okay. So we have a lot of people asking about if you're going to go into acting now after this. Is that ever on the radar?
I mean, I don't want to commit to anything. Like, I'm not trained. I've never taken acting classes. Like, I mean, maybe down the road we'll see. But as of right now, like, it's not really forefront of my mind.
Yeah. Well, we thought we could get to know you a little bit better and play a game called Guilty or Not Guilty, where we're going to go through a few scenarios and you tell me if this is something that you would do or something you wouldn't do. Are you ready to play?
Yeah. So, well, just so I'm clear on the rules,
Yeah.
Guilty means I would do it or wouldn't?
You would do it.
I would do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Guilty or not guilty? Stalking yourself online after the show came out.
Not guilty.
Really? You didn't look?
No.
You're not looking on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, nothing?
No, honestly, I don't have to. People keep sending it to me. But the best part about this, too, and probably why I was an ideal candidate, was because I'm not really online. I don't watch a whole lot of TV. I don't consume a lot of just content, I guess.
When you talk to the executive producers, did they tell you why specifically they chose you? I'm sure that was a big part of the reason.
So Alexis is the producer who was with me throughout my entire interview process. She was there every single day. You can hear her voice on camera. She's the one asking us the questions. I don't ever want to speak for Alexis, because truly I'm so grateful for the opportunity that she gave me. They didn't tell me why they chose me, but I'd like to imagine that it was they just saw somebody who was just being open and honest with them.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, what about guilty or not guilty, throwing a watch party for the premiere of your show?
Guilty.
You did. Where was the party?
I was at my friend Ben's house.
So your hometown in Oregon, was everyone fully invested? Like, what does your family and friends think of this?
Oh yeah, everybody was fully invested. Nobody can believe it. It was a complete shock to everybody. Like, I never had aspirations to be on TV. I was never the kid who was like, oh, I'm gonna be a famous actor or something like that. So like, it was just totally out of left field.
It's just a wild thing that now you literally have a full show dedicated to you. I can't get over it. Okay. Guilty or not guilty? Binging all of James Marsden's movies after the show.
Guilty.
Which was your favorite? Which was your least favorite?
So I recently discovered D-Train with Jack Black.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. That is it. Not only is it funny, James kills it. So does Jack Black, obviously, too. But yeah, that one was probably my favorite that I discovered of his that I hadn't seen.
Guilty or not guilty? Forgetting someone's name right after they introduce themselves.
Guilty.
Guilty.
I'm meeting so many people. I'm remembering faces. The names are what I'm working on.
Okay, fair. Guilty or not guilty? Developing trust issues after this show now.
A little bit guilty, yeah. Like, it was in the months following, like immediately following. Yes, it was definitely hard for me to really believe anything.
Really?
Truthfully, I don't think that was. I don't know. It wasn't too weird to me, because like I had been lied to for a month. They created a whole fake world around me. So like, yeah, it was hard for me to really believe a whole lot.
At any point were you like upset about it, or like did you have any of those emotions that you had to process through?
Truthfully, no. Like, I'm honestly just so grateful to even be a part of this. And that's why I said I don't ever want to speak for Alexis, because she's the one who gave me this opportunity, and I feel like I'm forever indebted to her for it, because like, it's changed my life, like you said, overnight. And so I'm thrilled about it.
And throughout the process, were you ever suspicious? Like, did you ever catch on that maybe like something's happening? Were there certain moments where you're like, I think something's wrong here?
Absolutely. I wouldn't say every single day, because they did do something every single day, because they obviously have to get some footage, but like, no.
Overall, this experience, I feel like this was just like such an abnormal thing. Are you glad that this happened? And what do you think is like your biggest takeaway from doing this show and looking back on it now?
I am so happy that this happened. Like, I can't tell you enough. I'm just thrilled to even be a part of this. I'm surrounded by some of the best people in the business. We've got phenomenal actors, and not even that, but just like the camera crew as well too. Like, these are people who worked on, Borat and Bad Trip. Like, these are huge names in this industry. So I'm honestly just thrilled to be a part of it.
Yeah, that's awesome, Ronald. Okay, last question for you. Guilty or not guilty taking selfies with fans?
Guilty, but I mean, like, I have to, right?
You have to. What's your selfie pose? Do you do the peace sign? This is me.
Sometimes, yes. I try to switch it up. It can't, you can't do the same thing over. It becomes stale.
Okay, so we have a lot of fans here. Can we all take a selfie with you right now? Is that possible?
If you would like to.
Okay, please. Can we bring our crew in? It's selfie time.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. Did you like that video? You can check out more over here. And don't forget to subscribe to iHeart right here. And if you're already a longtime fan, make sure you ring the bell down below so you don't miss a single video. Bye guys.